Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Mark's Allotment on a sunny and hot Easter Friday 2019. So I hope you're all enjoying this lovely warm weather, and perhaps it's a bit too hot to work on the plot, but it's certainly nice to have a sit down and have a drink of a cool drink of some sort. So I'm just going to turn the camera around to bring up to speed of what I'm doing. Okay, and hopefully you can hear me a bit clearer now as well. So since the last film I've been putting down these slabs, and I've put these down on top of cement, so they're nice and solid. Now initially the thought was to, there's enough space there now, but initially I was going to put my bench, which I have in the shed, along here to sit at when I'm on a whiff or whatever. But then what will become clearer later, or as I add to the film, I've decided I think I'm going to put a lean-to greenhouse on this aspect of the shed, which will mean I'll need to put another half a slab along here to accommodate the depth of the greenhouse. Now then, the only drawback is the greenhouse that I've got is slightly too long for this. Now I can cut it down, which is probably what I will do, down to three panes of glass, which will mean there's going to be a gap about that much either end. And of course, as you can probably tell, it's quite low, so I'm going to try and raise the front end of the greenhouse up as much as I possibly can, because obviously I'll need a bit of a slope to drain off the water. The headroom will be slightly low, but I'm not going to be spending hours and hours, certainly not in the summer, in there. And I thought, well, in the winter I can put the shed. What am I talking about? I can put the bench inside the greenhouse in the winter, and as you can see, it gets a lot of sun here, so that'll be a case of nice and warm for me to sit in the winter months. Now then, so I'll show you the greenhouse that I've got later. Now then, another long-term plan is I'll be digging out all this greenery here, which is the comfrey and the nettles. I may be able to get away with the nettles, I don't know, it depends how big but anyway, I want to dig it level in, and I'm going to put a polytunnel in this area here. That's the long-term plan, and I may or I may not have to dig out the nettles, because depending on how long a polytunnel I get, if it's an 8-foot one, then I won't need to. So I've started transplanting some of this comfrey across to here, with the aid now. Oh, yeah, so over there. Now I don't know if you can tell, but this comfrey here is a lot more advanced than this comfrey, and the only reason is, as far as I can tell, is that it's very moist on this side and not so moist on that side, so this is getting more water. And yeah, now I may have to move my pond, because what I would like eventually is to have some sort of wall along here to have I don't know, grow herbs and stuff in, but I can fine tune that later. Okay, so right, so I got potatoes growing in these pallet collars here now, so to see if that will work. I know I've tried it before and I wasn't that impressed, but I've done it slightly different, in as much I've only put the potatoes on the surface of the ground, not actually dug them in. So that maybe there. Little digression from the subject, but I've picked some of these nettles and I've I made myself a nice nettle omelette, and I tell you what, it was very tasty. So if you're interested in that, look that recipe up. Well, it's a soup recipe, but basically just treat it like spinach but I may do a separate video for that. Now then, as some of you may know, my wife's not very well, so what I've decided to make it a little bit easier for myself, I've reinstated, I had beds here, raised beds, so what I've done is I've reinstated them, and over time I'll level this off so it's all the way level all the way across, and I may put it down to grass just to for the time being, until such time, to save me a bit of work, because I don't think I'll have the time to do this part and everything else. So with that in mind, I've put some potatoes in here. What have we got in here? Got 1, 2, 3 Charlotte and 3 main crop. I still got some left, seed potatoes. I may put another couple of rows of main crop in here somewhere. We'll see. Okay, this side's looking a bit scruffy, but you can only do so much, as they say. Now then, I've put so in here's 2 rows of brassicas. Now this one is I can read it right, it's a pointed cabbage, and it's called Regency F1. I don't know if you can see that. Regency F1. Another row of brassicas here, and this is, I believe, oh god, that's a round cabbage, ball cabbage. That's another F1. So in here I have got, what have I got? Some more brassicas, obviously. I don't know if you can see them in this because the meshes, and then I've got 2 rows of lettuce in there. Right, now then, next bed up, I have planted all this bed with dwarf broad beans, with the purpose of probably growing some brassicas in between them, and obviously save the seed. Now this bed I've got, well, there's nothing here, but these are leeks here, a swede going to seed, and then some onions in here. I'm trying the Charles Dowding method of planting them in the bench. Anyway, I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to speak to my the secretary a minute. Be back shortly. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Sorry about that break in transmission, as they say. The secretary wanted to have a word for whatever reason. Anyway, so going back, I think these are all onions, and there's approximately 4 to 5 onion plants per station. So I'm trying this method this year of growing them in clumps, as per Charles Dowding's method, to see if that, see how that goes, rather than just plant the same way every year. So yeah, and as I say, got a couple of clumps of leeks here, so I'll have to watch them because the leek moth will be at them. Garlic and autumn onions are coming well. Broad beans are coming well. Now there are a few gaps, but I've put seeds in the gaps, so hopefully they'll catch up. And the same here, again, broad beans, and I've put seeds in where they haven't come. And you may be thinking, my God, what do you want all them broad beans for? Well, of course I don't, but I'll eat what I need, and then some I'll freeze, and the rest I will save for seed. and obviously the roots will stay in the ground and put nitrogen into the ground for the next crop. Now then, I don't know if I mentioned, oh yes, I think I did, yeah, didn't I? The asparagus. So I've got one whole bed of asparagus crowns, and this bed up to here I ran out then. That was 24 asparagus crowns. So I've got a bit of a space here, which, guess what, I may put some more broad beans in. Oh, and look, some more broad beans. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, right, so I'm not quite sure. This row, I think it's going to be this row. I'll be putting peas in, and I'm going to do a massive pile of peas so I can freeze a load, etc. Now then, on the culinary aspect, I've seen a recipe for making curly kale crisps, so that's going to be another experiment. I'll try them out. So I'll pick some to take back with me tonight, and I'm going to bake those in the oven. Now, strangely enough, I know this is all gone to seed, it's flowering now, and you would think that these weren't they weren't particularly nice, but I've ate some of these, and they're actually quite tasty. They're not, didn't appear bitter to me, and obviously I cut the stalks off and the main fleshy part and steamed them, and they tasted okay. So just because somebody tells you they're not worth eating, try them yourselves and make your own mind up, because people said, oh, you don't want to be eating that because it'll be horrible, and I think to myself, well, okay, I'll believe him, but then so I'm going to watch now, because my purple sprouting's going to flower now, so I've got to make sure I've been eating this virtually every day, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So now then, also I've dug up a dandelion root, and I'm going to try that as substitute coffee. So I might as well. I'll let you know how all these things work out, hopefully, if I remember with my brain. So what I'll do now, I'm going to sign off, go back to the house, and I'll just show you the greenhouse that I want to transfer down here. Bye for now. Hello everybody, welcome back. Just turn the camera around. So this is the greenhouse. I thought I would dismantle it and take down to the allotment. It's featured in one of my earlier films where I'm doing tomatoes, etc. Now, the length of it is too long for the shed. If there was a back to it, then I wouldn't have done anything, but so what I'm going to have to do is, assuming it'll work, is to remove 1 pane's worth of greenhouse. So it'll be from there to there, so 3 panes worth. What I'm hoping to do is to increase the height at the front, so to bring it up so I got a bit more space, because if we go inside, the shed, the eaves of the shed will come to around about here, so this is going to come down, unfortunately, but as I say, what I'm going to try and do is have the slope going less steep, so I've got more room at the front. It'll be it will be a little bit low, but in the summer I probably won't be using it anyway. Well, perhaps for tomatoes, but I'm not going to be spending hours in there. It'll just be a case of winter, to sit in like a conservatory. And the reason I'm doing this is because my wife wants to use this area as a seating area because it gets more sun down here. So I'm going to lose it. I don't want to lose the greenhouse altogether, so I try and make use of it as much as possible. And then the intention is to get another greenhouse here, somewhere along here on this side. So that's the washing getting in the way. That's the general plan. And so under here I've got some brassicas coming, and up here's my lettuces, yes, hydroponics I think they call it. I always get mixed up between hydroponics and aquaponics. I think aquaponics is where they use the fish, which is something I'd like to do at some point in my life in the future, but that'll be a while off yet. Right, so I'm going to sign off and I'll see you anon right now.